Now let's look at how we prove that two shapes are similar. So remember, in similar shapes, all angles are the same. So in order to prove two shapes are similar, we need to show that all angles are the same. We're going to use a table to lay out our proof, and don't forget a proof statement at the end. So with geometric proofs, you might have questions where you are given numerical values for angles to work with. If you're not, then we're going to introduce a letter and work algebraically. So first of all, I'm going to work on my diagram, working out angles before I lay out my proof properly in the table. So I'm going to start by just introducing an angle in one of my triangles A or B, and I'm going to call it X. So I'm just going to decide to start up here, but it doesn't really matter which angle you introduce. See, we are told that the triangle's inside a rectangle, so we know that these two are right angles here. So if I've got angle X up here, I know that down here, because this is 90 degrees and angles in a triangle add to 180, this angle must be 90 minus X down here. If I move to my triangle A to work out this angle here, using angles on a straight line add to 180, I can say, well, 180, take away my 90, so take away this 90 here, take away this 90 minus X, and remember we have to put that in brackets, is going to give me the angle I want. So let's take the brackets away. Don't forget that a minus outside the brackets changes the sign inside, which is why we have to have the brackets there. So I've got 180 minus 90, which is 0. So what I'm left with for that angle is it is just equal to X. So this is also angle X. And again, because I've got a right angle triangle and angles in a triangle add to 180, this one up here must be 90 minus X. So I've worked out all my angles in terms of X. I can see that all the angles in triangle B are the same as the angles in triangle A. So let's now lay this out in our table. So remember, when we are doing geometric proofs or giving reasons for angles questions, we have a table with angle and reason. Now, I need to be able to refer to these angles in my table. So I'm actually going to introduce some letters to my shape that's going to make it easier for me to refer to my angle. So I'm just going to do those in green. So I'm just going to call it this rectangle P, Q, R. I need to give it a letter here. That's going to be S, and that corner can be T. So if I start by saying that I let angle SQR equal to X, that's where I started. Next I worked out angle QRS, angle QSR, and that is equal to 90 minus X. The angle factor I used was angles in a triangle add to 180. From there, I worked out that angle PST was equal to X, so that's PST, that's this one here. I don't really need to write down all the workings again because I have them written down up there. But what angle fact did I use? I used angles on a straight line add to 180. And finally, I then worked out that angle TPS is equal to 90 minus X, so that's this one up here, and I used angles in a triangle add to 180. Now I mustn't forget my proof statement, so I can write that triangle A is similar to triangle B as all angles are equal. So you can copy that down into your notebook if you want to. And then I want you to have a go at the following questions. So find the sheet, prove it similar triangles. I don't want you to start on question 1. I want you to start either on question 7 and do questions 7, 8 and 9, or for the super challenge you can jump straight to question 10 and do 10, 11 and 12. And I would like you to either start on the challenge or the super challenge this time. If you finish the super challenge questions, you can have a go at similarity proof with circle theorems questions, which is on a separate sheet.